Morning, family. Oh, how are we? How are we? Beautiful. Do you know what? We're in for some belting weather. We are going to listen. Look at me. Look, I don't care, do I? Woo! All over the place. I look like Virginia Bottomley's been pulled through her head backwards, but it is what it is. Lovely to see you all. We're going to be talking about Jiz Maxwell this morning. Oh, have some of that. Bit of Jiz. She's now on suicide watch. Magical Birdie. Hello, darling. How are you? You all right? All right, Del boy. Lovely to see you. Or shall I say Del girl? Beautiful. I'm just finishing my coffee up. Played golf yesterday. Played rather bad. I was so achy. This weekend we've been concreting and running drainages on my stable yard. And my back, it feels like Jimmy Savile's been running up and down it. With his stilettos on. It's terrible. How are we doing, peeps? Just a little general chit-chat this morning. As predictable. We like a bit of predictability, don't we, ladies and gentlemen, through our media, TVs, papers and that. Jiz Maxwell, bless her, not bless her, actually. She's been involved in a lot of nefarious activities, but got arrested by the FBI. Or whoever it was that arrested her, and she basically Jiz Maxwell, my mate Jiz, well, not my mate Jiz, actually, I wouldn't want nothing to do with her. She's been involved in the Epstein paedophilic regime out on Epstein Island. What was that program we used to watch years ago with that little tiny thing, something Island, Fantasy Island. Okay, boss. We used to watch Fantasy Island all the time. Years ago, I really did. It was great fun. Fantasy Island, really good little program that was. This guy was about 2 foot tall, and his willy used to drag along in the sand as he was walking down the beach. Quite funny, 3-legged midget. Anyway, if there's any midgets out there, I'm sorry about that. A bit offensive, but you're all right. I've pulled all my fences up in my gardens just in case someone takes offence. Rob Norris, hello, Gould's, lovely to see you. So yeah, Jiz Maxwell. I've just put some peppermint oil on my hair and on my hands, and it's it's making my eyes go a little bit watery. The one-arm bandits are still on. Anyway, Jiz Maxwell. Let's get back to Jiz. She got arrested. She was then, she's arrested, waiting for, and then we've got these judges coming out saying, yeah, we've got her. She's arrested. She's going to be, she's doing a plea bargain, this, that, the other. And let me just turn my screen on so I can see if the postman turns up. I love my postman. He's lovely. He's quite fancy him. Now we're hearing through the media outlets, them gorgeous things you can trust 100% in this world, is she's on suicide watch. So unbelievable scenes. Jiz will probably, I'm taking 16 to 1 odds on favourites that she's dead by the end of tomorrow night. Now it's just how we're rolling down. She's probably in Epstein's old cell, the cell that Jeffrey Epstein was in. Richard Branson, he's been out to the Epstein Island, and I don't know if any of you have seen, but there are pictures floating about of Richard Branson with, I don't know if it's left or right eye, not Lindsay Left Eye Lopez, whatever her name was, out of that band years ago, not band, that lady group, and he's got a black eye sucking a McDonald's milkshake. I don't know if there's any symbolism involved in that, but he's not the only one. Prince Charles or some of these other royals all got black eyes. The Pope had a black eye. So someone's going round who's like running the world. When people get out of the line, I think they must like tie him up. Like Branson must get tied up in a chair, and this one comes up and maybe gives him one with the papal ring. Smash him in the face and knocks him out. So yeah, they've all got black eyes. It looks like they've got a big lump of steak on the side of their face, especially Branson's. He's probably got the best black eye I've ever seen. So they take their orders from their people, and they get black eyes for it if they get out of alignment. Claire Tracy, hello Claire, lovely to see you, darling. Nice for you to tune in this morning. Sonia Ballard, Scott, sweetheart. Oh, hello, darling. Nice to see you. How you doing? You all right? Joanne, Gargilio, morning. If I've said that wrong, sweetheart, just don't hold it against me. This time of morning, I know I've got my one-arm bandits on, but I'm buggered when the other arm goes on these, by the way. I do find it hard to adjust my mince pies. Magical Birdie, you make me giggle so much, Dave. Love you too, darling. Love you too. I don't know what you're up to today, but wherever you are up to, just enjoy yourself. Auntie Mandy. Hello, Auntie Mandy. Auntie Mandy. Auntie Mandy's in the room. Auntie Mandy. Do you know what I like? Have you ever seen the video on YouTube? Jamaican grandma, Jamaican nanny. So funny. So funny. Listen, all the kids are getting out of alignment. They won't play properly. Mum's pulling her hair out, and they got the phone. They get Jamaican granny round, and Jamaican granny comes round with her stilettos on and her hat and her handbag, and she lets fire. It's really, really funny. The FBI. Now, Robbie is not a silly man. He's on the case. The FBI would have known where she was for some time before the arrest. The info she knows will be putting a lot of people into a tough situation. Oh, yeah. Ticking time bomb, son. Ticking time bomb. All eyes on us. All eyes on... Well, not on us. So much love for the witchy word. Back at you, princess. Back at you. Giz Maxwell. Ghislaine. Whoever calls their child Ghislaine? I've never heard of that name in my life. Is it something that just posh people do? Oh, darling, the baby's arrived. Yes, it has. It turned up on the stalk. What are we going to call it? Fucked if I know, dear. I'm not too sure. Why don't we just call it Jizz? Oh, yes. What, Ghislaine? Yes, Ghislaine. That's what I reckon happened. I've never heard of someone called Ghislaine. I mean, it's like, say, like Brick Lane in London, isn't it? Where you go get your market, get your leather jackets from. Ghislaine. Ghislaine. Some people say it different. If you're posh, obviously, you'd say Ghislaine a little bit different from how I'm saying it this morning. So, who knows? But she's now on suicide watch. There's been some posts up there this morning. And there was somewhere yesterday in England, this Herbert in the high street was getting arrested by 3 coppers. It's like watching Gladiators. You remember Gladiators? Oh, Gladiators, ready. It's like watching that. There's 3 cops in their eye visibilities. You can't miss them. They're not incognito. They can't camouflage nowhere, these fuckers. They're just lit up. They've got these green eye vises on. But like, I'll show you, right? I'll show you what they're green. They look like this down the town now. Everywhere you go, you just see this colour green everywhere, don't you? That's me riding, Jackie. Excited. And this lad obviously might have had a few beers, doing a bit of drugs, I don't know, a bit of recreational, whatever it was. And this copper, he's throwing like full-on punches. Oh, dear. My life. This lad's head's rolling around on his head like a little, like, rocking... Well, I can't understand when we ever let our public servants go around like Rocky Bilbo. Whenever, do you reckon when they do their training, right, who's up with the old bill? Yeah, I'm up with the old bill. How much are we getting? 26 grand a year. Righto. Sounds sweet. What we got to do? Well, what you got to do is possibly murder. You have to take someone in a cell, take them down, take them. You might have to kill them. They've almost had 2,000 people die in police custody. Not one of them really has been held accountable. All the doctors fudge up what goes on in the police cells. They do. They're pretty much trained to cover it up, like they do the NHS cover up the brutality by the police. They seem to cover it up and just pass it by. But the trouble is, every time you just cover that kind of shit up, it gets worse. Every individual case where the police just go that little bit further, you know, and they cover it up, it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And we end up to where we are kind of like ending up now today. It's pretty scary. Oh, there's one other thing. Oh, Prince Andrew cancels annual golf trip to Spain after Ghislaine Maxwell arrest. NY Post. So Jizz again. Jizz seems to be a very popular theme at the moment. I'm just going to load up this story and we're going to have a little chat about it this morning. Auntie Mandy, I heard she was in Greenland singing like a canary a long time ago. Yes, probably. I don't know if you guys know about Bohemian Grove, Lady Gaga. She seems to be, I mean, she came out on stage a few years ago at some Brit Awards covered in meat, like ham was hanging off. And I didn't know if it was just her vaginal lips hanging down a little bit. Sorry, girl. Sorry. I say that out. I weren't sure. I had to put my glass on and have a closer look. And I was wrong. Lady Gaga was wearing a meat dress. Now, I don't know where she got it from. I've never seen anybody else wear it in my life. And I've got to wonder, like, what did she do that for? I had to take, I thought someone stripped her skin off of her body. What's all that about? Oh, come on, load up, please. My device always takes such a long time. So it looks like, hey, hang on, Prince Andrew go to Spain? I can't go to Spain. I'm not allowed to go to Spain at the moment because of the COVID juice. All the pubs were open again Saturday, weren't they? All that spread of COVID. Off it goes. I was chatting with a woman yesterday. We got the golf club, Sophie, down at Tenterton. First time I'd ever met Sophie. And I always like to make a bit of a grand entrance when I meet people. I goes, oi, oi. She's got her name on her badge. I says, are you Sophie? She went, are you psychic? I went, yeah. How did you know? How did you guess? And we were having a right old chat, and she's got the spit screens up now. And my mate went over with his coffee and started playing with the spoons and putting his sugar in. She went, oh, no, you fucked up my station now. And I went, oh, you worried about this COVID bubble juice thing stuff, are you? She went, yeah. I said, how many dead do you know you thrown out? She went, what are you chatting about? I said, how many dead have you thrown out then since this epidemic started? She went, what are you chatting about? I said, how many dead people in your families and your friends have you seen you thrown out? She went, no one. I said, oh. I said, how many people do you actually know yourself that have... Well, she said, I know someone that knows someone that knows someone that... I said, well, how many people do you know that's actually... Well, I don't. I said, I said, so it's not an epidemic, pandemic then, is it? Epidemic, pandemic, everyone's throwing out their bodies, people. Like sweeties. You just throw them out. You go, oh, that stinks. Get them out. Because you can't cope. There wouldn't be a funeral director system in this country that would cope with the amount of bodies that were coming in. It would be like, it would just be like McDonald's when you're going through that checkout. Sometimes McDonald's ain't so busy. There's not too many people in there. And other times they can't cope. They go and park up in the car park. And I'll bring you, just park up. Where food's not ready, fuck's sake. You know, we're supposed to be fast food, but we're not fast food. So you go and park up in your bays, the A, B, C, bay 1, bay 2, bay 3, whatever it is, and they bring your food out. Same with an epidemic. There is generally on a daily basis a steady flow of dead people, right? And I'll be dead one day. Do I care? Do I fuck? I don't care about living and dying. It don't bother me at all. That's why I don't walk and live in fear. I don't care when I leave this body. I'm going to go hallelujah. When my spirit is finally released from this thing, I'm going to go, thank fuck for that. Got me out of all them fucking muggles down there. Do you know what I mean? All the idiots. Because that's how I see humanity now, a little bit like they've just gone crazy. And I don't recognise half of them. So what I'm saying is there's a steady flow of dead. But all of a sudden when you get a spike of an epidemic, pandemic, scamdemic, plandemic, whatever it is, you can't cope with that, right? And there's bodies everywhere in doorways and stink in the atmosphere would stink. And you'd be like, whoa, fucking hell. The smell of death would be pungent. You wouldn't be able to... And that's just the truth. It was like that back in the... Black Death. I'm not too sure why my post won't load, but it says mypost.com. Prince Andrew, and he's a 4 handicapper, I think, or maybe less, Prince Andrew, because he's got all the time in the world to play golf. He's cancelled his annual golf trip to Spain. Maybe the Spanish police might arrest him after Giz Maxwell arrest. So Prince Andrew's bum's starting to feel the pinch. So that's fantastic. Oh, Dr. Fauci, that geezer going around saying, put your mask on, don't put your mask on, all this spike's going to be murders and we're all going to die and we're all doom and gloom. Apparently he's married to Giz Maxwell's sister. Now, I never knew that. There's some interesting facts coming out here this morning. My mate Lisa Bearwitch, she said, I'm not wearing a mask. If you're scared to catch something from everyone, then stay in your house. If you don't want to breathe in oxygen, then wear a mask and breathe in your own body waste, carbon dioxide. But don't put your issues and anxieties on me. I have a right that allows me to breathe in oxygen because I have the right to life. You think you haven't got the right to life? Then wear a mask 24/7, starve yourself of oxygen and put yourself out your misery. Clowns, puppets and sheep, off you pop to the slaughter. I'll stay here and think for myself. Thank you. What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful post out. And the point is this, she's very true in what she says. She has the right to choose what she wants to wear and what she don't want to wear. She wants to wear pants and knickers, she wears pants and knickers. If she wants to go al fresco, she can go al fresco because that's her choice. And we all like choices. What do we like, ladies and gentlemen? We like choices, right? Claire says 50 of us in my office in an NHS hospital. We share one kitchen and 2 WCs. No one has got it, had it, any symptoms. They have all had the antibody test. I haven't. None of them came back positive. Wow. Do you work in the... Claire works with our beautiful, beautiful NHS that we was all out clapping again for the other night for 70 years. I'm clapped out. I'm not taking no more knees If I take any more knees, my kneecaps are going to fall off. To be fair, I haven't taken one knee. Lewis Hamilton the other day, wearing a mask, wearing a Mercedes-Benz top, coming out in solidarity for this, that, the other. He didn't really. Mercedes-Benz built and paid for a lot of roads going into a lot of these concentration camps in Germany years ago. The irony. Oh, Lewis Hamilton, if you ever, just do your history, man. Go and do a bit of research and find out the roots and the beginnings of BMW and Mercedes, etc., etc., etc. So, and then you might go, oh, I think I dropped a bollock here. So off we go, pops we go, and here we are. We're living the dream. Let's see what else we've got on here. It's all getting a little bit weird out there, and for me, my humble opinion is that we're getting to a point now where we have to destroy this legal system and collapse it and just go back to natural law, the proper stuff. You know what I mean? Why clap people? We have chosen to do a job ridiculous. No one made us do a job. Exactly. No, look, I'll fit boilers, central heating, and bathrooms. I'm good with my hands. I've never had any complaints. I would never. I feel a little bit weird if people clap me out the door. Thanks, Dave, for coming today. You plastered that bathroom out, sweet mate, and they're all clapping me down. The whole fucking road turns out, and Dave's going home now. Right, 6 o'clock coming in, and they're all clapping me out. I'll be like, oh fucking. I find it embarrassing. What the? But it's all ritualistic, isn't it? It's all take a knee, clap, clap, clap. I'm like. And all the media and the radios and newspapers, they're all promoting this. Oh, we're clapping for the NHS tonight. Now, look, don't get me wrong. I love the NHS. When I caught my foreskin in that tractor years ago and someone tried to start the engine, it wasn't very clever. And the NHS did repair certain parts of the anatomy, but the foreskin did end up in a fucking fondue set. And then we all went for a Chinese as per the Fokker movie. Anyone for Chinese? Yeah, sounds good. So, look, NHS has been there for me from time to time, but we're all humble people. And when we're all humble people, we don't need to clap to show our appreciation. All right, just a little thanks, mate. Pat on the back. Oh, lovely. I mean, look, I'll tell you what, right? Back in 1991, 92, my granddad, Fred, he was a bit of an hermit. He was always playing around with people, not like anything like that. He was just a funny, happy-go-lucky kind of geezer. He ends up in King's College Hospital, right? So on my arm here, I just soldered a 22mm pipe, and I was chatting with my mate at work, so I like a chat. And I didn't realise, but my arm was stuck to the pipe, right? And it was only when I looked at it and pulled it away, then the brain went, "You got a burn there," and it was quite bad. Actually, no, it was this arm. It was this arm, and I probably still got a scar here for it, right? After all these years. So about 1991, 92. Anyway, I'm sat with my granddad at King's College Hospital, swinging around in the chair with my old behind me like this, going, "You all right, granddad?" Yeah, he says, "Yeah." My granddad had a busted vein in his gut because he had a brain hemorrhage many years before, and he'd been on aspirin and that for a long time, and it had made a little perforation in one of his arteries or whatever in his stomach. But anyway, he lived till he was 96, and I miss him dearly. But I've got my hands behind my head, and my arm was all sweat. I weren't paying attention, right? My kids were young. And this big Jamaican nurse, she come up behind me and grabbed me, and she looked like Rusty Lee. Do you remember Rusty Lee? She was a gorgeous woman, and she went to me, "Do you want to lose that?" And I thought she was looking at me. I went, "What's up?" She went, "Your arm." She said, "I could smell it at the end of the way." I went, "What?" She said, "You smell of almonds." She said, "I could." She said, "Come with me." So she grabbed me. I left my granddad and my other family, my wife and my kids. Good job, I know, eh? You know, someone must have wanted them. And she took me down to the thingy. She glanced it, she dressed it, and she said, "Here, go and get some tablets from the pharmacy." She said, "And have a nice life." And I thought, what a wonderful woman. Big old Rusty Lee there. She come and saved me arm. I could have lost it. She said, "You could lose that." She said, "You're getting blood poisoning." I was like, "Oh." I said, "It feels a bit hot and I feel a bit weird." So she straightened me out. So I appreciated her. And I said to her at the time, "Thanks, darling." I said, "You don't realise how kind you are." And that was a one-to-one kind of a level. So look, I appreciate what these nurses do. I appreciate what these doctors do, especially some of the stuff they must have to see, you know, especially like someone like Big Bill that weighs in at about 35 stone that wants to get his Farmer Giles checked out on a Monday morning. That doctor must be like, "Oh, my life must put you off grapes forever." Yeah. But they do it. They do it. And like everybody does everything each day. We don't need to be clapped. We don't want the adoration. I don't mind people saying, yeah, well done, Dave, lovely job, thanks very much. And off we go. That's nice. But all this clapping, it's ritualistic, people. I hope you can see what's going on here. Take a knee, get out clapping every certain time, every Thursday night. By the way, all the clapping comes about from the rag and bone man that used to go around and pick up the plague victims during 1665. He used to come round about 8 o'clock on a Thursday night, and a lot of people used to clap to let them know you had a body. You do know that, and that's all. You can go and research that on Wikipedia. Morning, boyo. Hello, I'm Ben Down. Nice to see you. Trevor, good. Hello, gorgeous. Love it to see you. Gavin Houston. I told my 14-year-old he's grounded. He said, cab ground his person, but he's a man. He's going downtown. He pays attention when I listen to your videos. Well, I do apologise for that family feud there, Gav. But look, listen, Harold, I was 14. I told my son he's grounded, and because he's listening to Witchy Woo, he's going, I'm going downtown, Dad. I'm going out for that white wine spritzer and me kebab at 1 in the morning. And then when I get home, I'm going to chunder it all over your lounge carpet. How's about that? Oh, bless. Oh, well, listen up. You know, no one ever said life was easy, Gav. No one, I mean, look at Ghislaine Maxwell. No one ever said it was easy, did they? Oh, Dad, that kebab was wonderful last night. Oh. How many times did I used to go out around town many years ago, get absolutely hammered with me mates. Now, my mate years ago, right, I was in a club in Maidstone, and he said to me, he said, I'm a bit tired, Dave. It's about 12:30. He said, I'm going home. I says, all right, love. I said, I'm just cracking on, having a few more scoops. I says, I'll see you later. We were all living together. There's nothing, no sexual contents involved, but there was 3 geezers living together. It was about men behaving badly. So anyhow, he's disappeared for about 40 minutes, and then he's come back in again. And I'm like, I thought you was going home. And he went, I was. And then we come out about 2 o'clock, 2:30, straight in the kebab shop, because you've got to have a little munch on at 2 in the morning when you've had a few scoops. And he's had a big kebab. And when we're walking home, he's going, phew, I'm struggling. And I mean, he liked a bit of food, my mate Jeff. And what happened was, he got up in the morning, he went, you know, I struggled with my kebab last night. I said, yeah. He said, I'd realised I'd gone in for one at 12:30. He said, no, I'd had one at 12:30. He said, and then I didn't realise we were back in there at 2-ish for another one. I couldn't believe it. That's what drink does to you, ladies and gentlemen. It's not good for you. Makes you go a bit weird. Funny how people do what government tell them. God's sake, stand out and clap low ropes. Yeah, I'm just waiting, like I say, the government, Boris Johnson will come on the TV and do, I want everybody to do the hokey cokey tonight at 8 o'clock. Everyone must be up straight, Bristol fashion, and we must do the hokey cokey wherever you can be. Play it from very loud from your neighbour's house. And we must all do the hokey cokey. I want to see all the neighbours and friends out there together. And everyone would, trust me. Everyone would be at the knees, that arms doing, right? Everyone would be doing the hokey cokey. There would be no one not doing the hokey cokey. Everyone would be out. Well, Boris said we had to do the hokey cokey because people can't discern for themselves. Everyone looks at government now as though they're a god, as though they've got this natural God-given right to show us the way and lead us into the light. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, they're not leading you into the light. They're leading you into the darkness right now, because you don't have any decent people of spirit left in that establishment. You have people working for the dark forces, all right? Oh, we come up for air. Our government work for the dark forces. They don't work for the light. Now, listen, we're going to have a beautiful day today. Today is going to be particularly beautiful. I'm expecting it to be about 28 degrees today. I might even go a little bit naked later on in my garden with my neighbours can't see me. I might try and get an all-over suntan. That's how nice it's going to be today. How beautiful is this creation? How beautiful are the birds and the bees and the dragonflies and the horses and the cats and the dogs and the birds? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And how beautiful could this creation be? That's the big question for me. How beautiful could this creation be if we had people of light and wisdom in high places? Can you just imagine how beautiful people's lives would be, how beautiful the roads would be, how beautiful the schools would be, and the parks would be, and everybody's nature. Can you just imagine how beautiful that would? Can you see that vision? I can, but I'll know. We have to have a group of people that want to enslave us, that want to have a level of control over us, to be able to take our cars, to be able to take our children, to be able to take our homes. Do you understand how sad that is, how savage that is? Regardless of all that we talk about, all that we do, can you imagine having a group of people in the positions of decency in this country that embraced your life, that enhanced your life, that made sure no harm come to you? Can you imagine judges that just dealt in greatness? Can you imagine how great this country would be? Man, we would bench like the whole world. We really would, but we don't have that. We have dark judges screaming and shouting at people like they own them, like they're chattel, like they're slaves. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we need to bring an end to that. We need to bring into full manifestation God's creation, God's greatness. You are all blessed, blessed, blessed souls, ladies and gentlemen. And we've got to get rid of this darkness, these dark ones. And we're seeing that happening now. Prince Andrew, too scared to leave the country, go to Spain. He knows he's going to get arrested, right? Ghislaine Maxwell, Giz, singing like a bird, right? Singing like Nelly Furtado about what's happened out there. Lady Gaga must be shitting in her meat suit right now, right? Because this Giz, if mate, I am telling you, if her testimonies get recorded and she actually manages to get her trial without being suicided tomorrow at 16-1 odds, then you just know that just is in the next few days there's going to be a big outcry. I promise you, I make my bones by the end of this week, Ghislaine Maxwell will be dead. I'm making that prophecy right now that she will be suicided. She will have slipped one into herself in the old cell. The guards that are supposed to be on 24-hour suicide watch will all be falling asleep because Bagpuss has chimed the bells on the Bagpuss, the mouse organ. And Giz will be found dead in the cell. She'll be laying next to Epstein in a mortuary. And everyone will be going, fuck it, another one slipped through the nets. Morning, Zevi. Hello, gorgeous. My good buddy there, Zev. Oh. So the point is this, right? Can you imagine how beautiful this world and this country would be if we had decent souls? Good souls, moral souls, compassionate souls, people with wisdom, people of general greatness running this country. If we had a police force full of love and full of greatness, can you just imagine how great this country could be? Please, just imagine for a second how great we could all be if we had a judge that wanted to make sure that you and your family stayed together, that you never come to any harm. And his only job was to remedy you. So if you'd had a loss or suffered a loss or someone wasn't insured for a car or whatever, they said, don't worry, it's all right. You've come to the right place. Here you go. Have a large sum of money. Go and sort your lives out. Enjoy your creation. I tell you. It makes me want to cry, actually, thinking about how deprived we've become. It really does make me get quite upset that I'll never forget a few years ago, I went to file some papers in a court down in Maidstone, and I spoke to this clerk, and she was an horrible bastard. She just weren't nice. And I looked at her, I went, you're just not nice, are you? And she walked off with the uff. I think she sent a fart my way. But I remember seeing this young kid that was in there for a driving offence, right? And he's got his parents there going, it's all right, son, you're going to be all right. And he's got his suit on and he's just shaking like a fucking... And I looked at him, I thought, my God, the level of fear. We should never fear our public courts. We should never fear our police, right? Our public courts are our buildings. They're supposed to be our buildings. They're not supposed to be ring-fenced by the police and these private corporations. They're supposed to be our buildings, paid for us, by us, so that we go for remedy, so that we go to make sure our lives are enhanced, so that greatness happens. But oh no, all they want to do is steal from us. Steal, rob, steal. Constructive fraud. It's a constructive fraud. They've played a constructive fraud on us. Let me tell you. Yeah, because they robbed all of us at birth. And they're sick. But we should go, fucking hell, I'm going to court today. Yeah, what happened? Well, I lost my car. Some idiot drove into it. But it's all right. I'm going to court today. And this judge is going to make sure that I've got remedy. That's the only reason they should be there, is for provide us remedy. That's it. Shouldn't be there to rob us, mug us, and bash us over the head for not paying the council tax. Fuck off. Excuse me. I've had enough of this shit. Excuse my French. I have had enough of our system being abused. Our system's been abused like you've got no tomorrow. But our courts were set up and our public servants were set up so that we found remedy, that we never went without, so that our lives were enhanced and we could trust these people to do right by us. That's the only reason they were set up. There would have been no reason for the police or the courts or anything like that to have been set up for any other reason apart from just to give us remedy. And that's what they were supposed to do. But now look at them. It's like a private Gestapo. They all talk to you like you're a piece of shit. They all treat you like your own. The police, we're not releasing the body yet. Well, do you own the fucking body then, Constable? What's going on here with this Crown Bollocks Corporation? You're supposed to work for me. I'm the fucking sovereign. Yeah? The courts are supposed to work for me. The police are supposed to work for me. We're the sovereign people of this country. We're not beggars. We're not paupers. Yeah? Police and courts are being taught common law right now. They need to be. They need to be, because I can see a point coming where we're going to go in and take them over. We're going to have to. We're going to have to go in there peaceably with God's light and say, enough of this shit. Let's drain the swamp, man. Tracy Blackwell for PM. I agree. I love that woman. I've never actually met her yet, but I've been a couple of foot from her with her back towards me while she's been megaphoning. And the last time I see her, I was with my mate Danny Stokes and his family up in the centre of London at Parliament Square, and I was chatting with Dan. Dan came to the Royal Courts of Justice with us a few years ago, and he's a lovely boy, let me tell you. So I was chatting with Dan, and I was well aware that Tracy was behind me, and then I turned around to see her, and she'd moved on. I've seen her a few times, but never actually had a decent hug with Tracy yet, and I love hugging people. I don't know if any of you have ever met me where we've gone for days out and done this and that. I love hugging people. I just love feeling their energy, man. I really do. I was told Prince Andrew is above prosecution because he's royalty. Yeah, they got immunity, prosecution from immunity. But I just think now that it's gone too far. I think immunity from prosecution is probably all right for like driving offences, like when the Duke drove into that car a couple of years ago. This is what I'm saying. The Duke drove in and toppled his fucking Range Rover, Land Rover, whatever it is, one of the Queen's ones. I don't know whether they share out their stuff. Next day, he gets a delivery of a brand new one. These people, they can't do no wrong. That's remedy. That should be available to all of us. But it all died a death, didn't it? Oh, Duke should have his license taken away. Well, it would be the case if the Duke actually had a fucking license. Do you think the Queen's husband has a license? Do you think the Queen has a license? Come on, people. It's time to wake up, smell the roses. No, they don't, because they're sovereign. And their inheritance is they inherit the earth. When you inherit the earth, you don't have to beg for licenses, all right? That's the truth of the matter. When you're sovereign, when you are one of God's children, you don't have to beg for a benefit. You don't have to beg for a privilege. It's a given. So when this couple got hurt by the Duke, I wonder if it's going to... You can't... They have, but I guess, shagging kids and fucking kids. Should there be immunity from that? No, there shouldn't be. Because that goes against the moral law. That's not going against a civil thing, is it? That goes against the moral law. That goes against God's law. But the beauty of the Bible is it says, if you spill your brother's blood, I'll require of yours. That's clearly evidenced in the Bible. So that's why I don't spill anybody's blood, because I quite like my own soul. I quite like the fact that I've not done too much wrong in my life, and I like to think that I've been pretty decent, and I'd like to think that when my soul departs from this vessel, that I'm going to go to a nice place, a bit of paradise, you know, have a bit of niceties. I don't want to go and burn in hell because I've robbed my brother's blood and I've got to pay with my own, and depart from me, I never knew thee. That's what it says in the Bible. Knock on my door, I didn't know you. Because it says, do thy works and I will honour thee. And that's what we have to do. And that's why I live in the remit of the Holy Bible. And if people can take the piss all day long, I don't care. Why? Because I've got my shield on. I've got my armour on. I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. I'm in my bubble. People don't understand it. Not my problem. It's really not my problem. Ding. But we're in exciting times and dangerous times at the same time. I'm not too sure how long all this social distancing and all that, and it is just complete nuts now. I don't know how long it can go on for, especially now the pubs have been allowed out, but no music. Don't really understand that. There must have been a couple of 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people down this high street the other day, all drinking outside, standing out in the streets, reminding me of a bit of a midnight siesta in Spain. Where everyone's out in the streets just drinking and laughing and smoking and doing whatever else they want to do. Fantastic times. But there's no music. I mean, it's just a bit weird, isn't it? It's like, how much of our freedoms are we going to let them take from us, people? How much of our freedoms are we going to let Boris Johnson take from us? Richard Branson's got an island as well, you know, ladies and gentlemen. My good mate Frank McElherron's just pumped up here this morning. So Richard Branson's got an island. Jeffrey Epstein, the Lolita Express, Pizzagate. If you want to really stand up straight this morning and do a little bit of investigative journalism yourself, you might want to go and have a look into Pizzagate. All right. When they say, oh, I fancy 10 pizzas tonight at 11 o'clock at £10,000 a go, they're talking about children. They're sickos, man. Absolute sickos. The Queen was sentenced to 25 in prison for the kidnap and murder of a group of kids, but it can't be enforced. There you go, Auntie Mandy. There you go. It's quite sad, isn't it? It's very, very, very sad. As for all this Black Lives Matter, White Lives Matter, I've got no time for it. It's a fucking nonsense. And the police seem to be allowing an agenda to take place here. They seem to be coming down on certain things. Now, there was a picture the other night of a copper, a depiction, and someone of colour was cutting his throat and bloodletting him. And Facebook said it didn't violate their community standards and that it was going to stand. And I'm just like, it's very agenda driven. All these Facebooks, Zuckerbergs and all that is so agenda driven. All right. Now, when you get banned from Facebook, it's not because they don't like what you're saying. The reason why they block your posts on Facebook is because your voices are powerful. Because your voices are powerful. That's why Zuckerberg stops and stymies your words and your message getting out there. It's because it's powerful, people. Out of the Shadows, I've watched Out of the Shadows. Unbelievably fantastic documentary. And I think now more people are now paying attention to these things after Jizz, after Jeffrey Epstein. It's now time to pay attention, people. Your friends and your families. It's now time to just calmly and quietly educate them and say, look, have a look at this. It's a bit tasty. The kids are being shagged and this is all happening out there. And I hope that Jizz Maxwell avoids suicide, avoids being murdered or killed. And she's a dirty pig, by the way. I'm not exonerating her in any way, shape or form. The reason why I want her to stay alive at the moment is so that she can get her information out. If she's taken part in playing with kids and that, then she deserves far worse than you got, mate. I'm telling you. We've not protected the children, have we? We've really not protected the kids. We've focused our attention on certain things. And we've not really paid attention to the crimes and criminality that's been going on, but we are paying attention now. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I thought I'd pop in here this morning and have a quick what we've done now. 40 minutes. Time flies when I'm in here with you lot. Let me tell you, it really does. I've got a 30-day ban for saying all lives matter. Exactly, Decker, Tomo. It's not because they're scared of your message. It's because what you're saying is powerful. Remember that. If you get a ban from Facebook, it's because you've done something right that you need a thumbs up for. All right. It's not because they're taking it down because of the content. It's because your voice is now very powerful, because what the information that you're imparting is affecting so many people, and so many people are paying attention. If people weren't paying attention to this kind of stuff now, Facebook would let it fly. They wouldn't even try to pull it away. Have you seen these COVID testing sticks where they put them up your nose? They're about 4 inches long. Okay, now. Have you seen them? These Ian Poulter, the golfer. I thought they slid one up the side of his face, because this probe thing was about that long, and this bloke's come out. He sat in a chair, Ian Poulter, Mr. Muscle himself, and he sat there like that, and this geezer, and I thought, they've slid up the side of his face like a bit of a kid's trick, but apparently no. His thing was that I'm thinking, you are not putting one of them up my fucking nostrils, which, let me tell you, not a chance. Handle every stressful situation like a dog. If you can't eat it or play with it, just pee on it and walk away. Now that's class, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? I've got a Facebook lifetime ban. Auntie Mandy is obviously doing something rather fantastic, and I'm loving her every minute. They even blocked my URL. Did they? Oh, that's my... Go on, Auntie Mandy. That's fantastic news. Oprah Winfrey, she seems to be in a bit of the hot seat right now. Oprah Winfrey, it feels good. If it feels good to be molested as a child, and if it is done right, the child shouldn't remember it as a bad experience. I'll leave that one there. I'm just going to drop that one there. Leave that there. So, people, the message today is stop being so fucking compliant. Challenge. You are not owned and controlled by government, ladies and gentlemen. The only thing they own and control is the birth certificate. Make no mistake about that. And that is an unlawful conversion of us into their system. They've converted us from our natural jurisdiction, our natural inherent jurisdiction, and they've converted us into chattel. All right. Now, one thing I will say, what you're going to start seeing now, a friend of mine popped this up the other day about, he went into his local place. He lives up north. He went to his park and he see a lot of decay on the leaves of the trees, etc. It didn't look like they was getting all their oxygen. Now, I personally believe that once this 5G rolls out proper, that you're going to see a lack of oxygen even more. Now, I believe that our oxygen levels on this planet are probably quite depleted. All right. I really do. I don't think our oxygen levels are certainly anything like they were in the 70s. Not a chance. So I have a funny feeling, because I'm noticing at the minute that plants ain't growing as they normally grow this time of year. And I would say that there is something shifting within the oxygen levels of this planet right now. I really would. Yeah, so there we go. Brian Rose, I'd like to give a shout out to Brian Rose, founder of London Real. He's interviewed Ike a few times. He seems to be quite a switched on geezer. This guy himself, I think he's a multi-millionaire. I think he's done quite well trading, but he decided to pack up because he was fed up with the way he was treating people and what was going on in the world, and he's changed his tack now. And away we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for tuning in this morning. I do try and come in here as often as I can. Excuse the pun. And to Jiz Maxwell, please stay alive. Please don't suicide. Although I've got good odds on it, to fair, down at the bookmakers. that she will probably suicide herself at some point this week. That's just my predictive forecast. Miss Penguin, hello, sweetheart. Very nice to see her. And away we go. Do you see a hole or a hay bale? Oh, yeah. Right. So, love you all. Stay blessed. Have great days. But listen, remember one thing, right? Operating greatness. Operating greatness. Wherever you go, shine your light. All right. That's all I can say. Just keep shining your light as you would on all situations in your life. All right. Just keep shining, shining, shining. Don't let this situation grind you down. Don't let it make you depressed. Don't sit indoors feeling worried and anxious. Do what you have to do every day. Shine in greatness. All right. And you certainly will. That will manifest in your life as well. All right. So I love you all. I'm saying a lot of all whites this morning. I sound like Michael Barrymore. All white at the front, all white at the back. All right. So, right, love. I love you all. Stay blessed. And I've got one eye on my Facebook post here, and I've got my other eye on you. I should focus and pay attention with you, lovely lot, because you took the time out and you pop in and see. This channel's growing slowly. I think I'm up to just about 600 subscribers now. I'm sure at some point it will have a little spike up. But the point is this. I want people that come in here to tune into the vibration and the information that we're imparting and run with it. So if some of the stuff we talk about is a bit foreign to you, stick with it. And my moderators in my channel will help you out with that. 80% false positives on the test, no gold standard tests to compare against, and they are testing PCR. Might as well piss in the wind. Yeah, mate, I agree with you. It's all a bit nefarious, all this COVID juice stuff, isn't it? Guys and girls, stay blessed, stay loved. Love your family, love your friends, and just keep on doing what you're doing, because you're making such a difference in this world. All right. Have a nice day, folks. It's a good time to be alive. Niceness is just around the corner. Amen, sister. Amen, Auntie Mandy. Take care. I love you all, and I'll see you very soon.